So YouTube, Facebook, let's get some sharing going. Give people a few minutes to get on here. Forgot what did I do last time? Oh yeah, we're gonna share. We're gonna do some sharing. We're talking about business tonight. Nothing but business. We ain't talking about nothing else but business tonight. So we're gonna be adding some people. Please go ahead and share. How you doing? Hello, Felicia Bernard. How y'all doing tonight? We're gonna be talking about business, so get your business questions ready. Cause that's all we're talking about tonight is just business. Nothing but business. We're talking about nothing else but that. Share your information. Go ahead and share it. Now, if you got business ideas, if you're in a business, we want to talk about marketing. We want to talk about different industries, markets, opportunities that are coming forward nowadays. What's out there, not getting left behind like so many people. You know, they jump into different industries all late and everything. We want to not be late. We're always being late to the party. We wait for other people to go make all the money, and then we want to jump into it when it looks safe. But that is absolutely the worst time to get involved with a business is when everybody else has already gotten there. And I was trying to say, I know I did this. You know, we wait for everybody else. Everybody else already made the money. Then we want to jump late, trying to get involved in a business, but it's too late then. It's too late. You know, like tons of people jump into, hey, Connie, congratulations on your wedding. Wish I could have been there. My niece got married some this past summer. We got some people already throwing out some business stuff. Yes, Dax, I saw that. Thank you for joining my Patreon. Dax joined my Patreon, which supports my ability to be able to do these kind of things. So I appreciate it. Just $5, you know, a month. In my Patreon, with that, you're gonna get everything I produce and everything I do, and as I add more and more opportunities. And also remember, Dax, like your types of questions or types of videos will get higher priority because you're on my Patreon. Philip says that he's into dogs, so there's a lot. Actually, it's funny. I just passed a place today, and they do dog training, grooming. Protection, all kind of dog services. So there's still a market. That's one of those things where there'll always be a good market for it, you know. And actually, pet supply stores. If you open up a pet supply business, that is even a bigger market, and especially for cats. Designing jewelry, designing clothing, designing toys or just having a pet supply, but designing items for cats and for people's pets is a huge business to get into. People love that kind of stuff. Hey, Keisha, how you gonna say night-night already? You gotta say, you know, well, hey. But, yeah, so the pet supply business, I don't even have a pet. But if I can understand getting involved in the pet business. I could be in the pet business because that is a huge business to get involved in. And the thing about it, there are areas where there is such a lack. Like where my popcorn store is right now, there's not a pet supply store. There's not one around here. And these people love their pets. I mean, they treat their pets better than they treat their kids sometimes. So definitely, I mean, the pet business is a huge business to get involved in, but you got to get there. You can't wait. And like tomorrow, I'm going to this program at Invest Atlanta, where they have different type funding programs. It may take me 6 months to a year to qualify for their programs, but if 6 months from a year to now I'm getting the financing that I want in order to continue to grow my business, then what's 6 months to a year? You know, so you get involved in it. Dax says that they got a remodeling business. That's a good one, especially the fact that people are starting to stay in their homes or they want to sell their home, so they want to up the value of it. But with people staying in their homes, then you know they may want to add rooms, change rooms, knock down walls, remodel, restructure the house. So that's a good one too. And the marketing is going to be a big thing there, where word of mouth is going to carry you further than anything else. And as well as, so that's what I should be seeing is a lot of before and afters from you. All right, commercial and residential. I need to see a lot of before and afters. I mean, I don't need to, but you understand what I'm saying. Before and after pictures of, the remodeling jobs you've done. That people like the them little channels where the home, what's it, HDTV, showing people how they can do certain small projects at their house, but not just small projects, really. If you think about it, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you showed me how you were doing a big old project and how much energy and effort it takes, I'm probably gonna hire somebody to do it when I think in my brain that I can do it myself, but I probably hire somebody because I'm just not, if I see that it takes too much, I'm not doing it. If it takes too much of my time, I'm not doing it. Philip says he's on that now, looking to make about 100K in the next 2 years. Dude, your pet supply store, you can make way more than 100K. You can make way more than 100K. It's about location and quality of products, and then good customer service, and in an area where people are going to pay for it. Go to the higher end areas or the middle to upper end areas, but find that area where there's no competition. Don't try to run in there where everybody else is located, and then do things that makes you stand out, like have pet parties or certain projects or programs for the pets, so that people in Savannah, Savannah's a good market, a lot of retirees down there too, man. Please, all they got is their pet, but get involved with the community and different things like that, and be able to separate yourself from everybody else. I don't know, my YouTube people talking to me, your Facebook people, y'all not really talking to me too much now. I don't want to treat y'all poorly, but you got to let me know. I want to know what business you're in. If you're in a business, I want to know what business you're in. We're going to discuss it. We're going to be on here tonight for about 30, 45 minutes. Because I got some stuff I want to do. I got some things to do. But so let's talk about some of the emerging markets. Now, my Facebook scrolls every day, and I see all this stuff about Bitcoin. And I see all this stuff about buying stock in the marijuana industry. I'm very worried about those two things. I wouldn't necessarily, I'm not saying don't do it, but Bitcoin is one of those bubble burst kind of thing. Whereas, you just taking notes, Frankie? Bitcoin was like, you needed to get involved early. Over in Europe, setting up the machines and that sort of thing, or just buying Bitcoin currency. It has it's going to burst, is what I'm trying to get at with Bitcoin. I wouldn't put my all in all into Bitcoin. Bitcoin will burst. It is not going to be sustainable. Hey Nori, how you doing? It is not something that's sustainable. It's one of those get in, get your money, and get out. If you're holding on to some Bitcoin, if you put $100, $500, $1,000 into some Bitcoin and it not, went 10 times over, 20 times over, don't be greedy with Bitcoin. Get out. Get in, get out. It's not one of those things that you stay in for a long time. Get your money and get out, because it will die. It's going to die. Trust me. The central banks will not allow Bitcoin to last and be real. So in and out on Bitcoin. All these companies, these coming out talking about some, buying, investing in marijuana, in the stocks. Now, if you was investing in going over into California or Colorado or any place where it's legal, any place where you can do, if you were getting involved in that format, it's a great industry. Buying stocks, I wouldn't mess with the stock part. I would rather get in on the ground floor or something like that, whether you're a grower, whether you are a dispensary or something like that. There's a gentleman that I know of. I don't know him personally, but I know of because I know a different guy here who knows that guy. Went to Colorado some years ago when they first legalized it. Started out, got his license. He didn't have his license at first. Started out growing stuff in his closet. Then got his license. Now he has like 2 hydroponic bays and he's growing and he's cashing out like, $100K every 3 months is what he's cashing out. That's a ground floor kind of business. And one of the things that sparked my interest in that was I saw on CNBC, Marcus Lemonis from The Profit, he did a whole CNBC special on that industry over in California. And what I saw there, the opportunity, is tremendous. All right. But again, it's a hurry. You got to get in on the ground floor. You can't wait, because as those people in the other states establish themselves, when other states open themselves up to it, you're going to get left behind. Those guys are going to be able to come in and grab up all the property, grab up all the licenses, grab up all the permits. They're going to grab up all the things, and then you're going to be sitting there thinking, oh, dang, I'm late. I'm trying to get in, but I'm late. So, hey, Lisa, I haven't talked to you in a long time. Lisa, my store is now over here in Alpharetta, so I expect to see you and the kids and your husband and your mother, more importantly. Love you, but mother. Labila. So, but the thing about it is, it's one of my old personal training clients. As markets emerge, you got to get in quick. You can't be late. Too many times people sitting around there waiting for somebody else, to make the money, and you're like last. You got to go early. You got to get in there now. How you doing, Byron? Byron's another one of my Patreons. I appreciate it, Byron. And remember, Byron, I said for my patrons, subject matters that y'all request will get priority. So submit me some more subject matters. So let's dive into some more business things. We're getting ready to go into this holiday season, and there are other ways that people can make money. And good job. And I want you guys to be able to take advantage of it. I just was talking to a young lady. She just made like $6,000 over a 3-day period, right? So how did she make $6,000 over a 3-day period, you may ask? Well, with the advent of things like deal sites like Jane.com and Posh and Mercari, whatever it's called, and the ability to go on to places like Alibaba and other places that connect you to the source of supply, you can now order things from different countries in bulk, or find you a local manufacturer. Like there's a manufacturer of blue jeans in North Carolina or South Carolina, where you can get blue jeans, or you can go to the American marts and find wholesalers, and then put these things on these deal sites. Put these things on Craigslist and eBay. But for the most part, you put them on these deal sites, and then you begin to sell them, right? You start out with whatever you got, however much you got. I had a gentleman come in. He's a school teacher, but he works on the deal sites. He sells things on these deal sites. He goes to Ross and TJ Maxx. He buys things that are on sale, and then he flips them and sells them on these deal sites. And I saw him the other day. He met up with some people here because he was getting some popcorn, but he sold these young adults some tennis shoes for $340 that he paid $240 himself. So he made a quick $100 turnaround. He told me that he does it like on the side, but he makes about $500 a month. That's a car note. That's a car note. But if he really went out hardcore, what could he produce? What could he produce? It's not always about producing millions. Sometimes just produce that first $5,000 a month. Let's produce that first $5,000 a month. We get that first $5,000 a month, we can grow from there. We can add to it. But with these deal sites and with the ability to connect with suppliers, you see, I remember some years ago with the hair weave. It's like everybody all of a sudden was buying all this hair weave, and then all of a sudden everybody was selling hair weave online. Well, by the time everybody got involved, it was too late. It's too late. Do you know what the number one item that sells on Amazon and eBay is right now? Do you know? Anybody know? I'll give you a second to try to tell me. What's the number one item that sells on eBay and Amazon right now? Don't look it up. If you take too much time, then I know you're looking it up. And you can go category, but this is just number one item. And there is a way to look it up. You can't go into their site. It's not going to tell you. It's not going to tell you on their sites. There's a different way you have to look it up. But can anybody tell me? Hair care products? Nope. Body care? Nope. Keep on trying. You're not going to think that this will be the number one. Hardware? Nope. You're not going to think it's number one simply because of who would purchase this, and the fact that you wouldn't think they would purchase this online. You would think that they would have to be there to Byron says sex toys. It is not number one on Amazon or eBay, but it is a high selling item online because people want it, they don't want it to go to the stores. Food is up there, but it's not. Cars Cars is growing. More and more people are buying cars online. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you, those are some good guesses. And I know the ladies are going to disagree with me. Books are a big seller. People are getting into buying books online, but it's still not number one. Number one, blue jeans. Blue jeans are the number one selling item online. On Amazon and eBay, blue jeans sell more than anything else. They sell more blue jeans. Now you would you would think, and since 80% of these are being purchased by women, you would think that the women would not buy blue jeans online. But women are buying blue jeans online. Both that's a good question. Used or new? Both. Used and new. Either one. Shoes is close. Shoes was like number 3. Shoes was like number 3. But number 2 was low cost jewelry was number 2. Leggings, they sell, but not as much. But so blue jeans is like number 1. And when I looked at some of the people who were selling the most, I was looking at how they describe them. And that, I believe that's what's making the huge difference. I mean, they don't just say blue jeans and give you a size like 14 or 10 or whatever. They give you inseam, they give you all kinds of description of the fit and that sort of thing. So it's really intense. Melissa said, I don't know what MDIZ means, but Fashion House Attraction, it went away, is the name of my business where we are especially in custom-made clothing designs. We make jeans too. See, this is what I'm talking about. And jeans are huge sellers online. I took my daughter to the America's Mart because I wanted her to see how you get in contact with wholesalers. And double stitch denim, etc. Wow, I'm getting into the blue jean business now. It is the thing about it is that sometimes we think about we gotta be. You don't have to do things that you just fall in love with. You can just do business because you're just trying to get yourself to a stage where you can do the thing that you're in love with. Nori says that she can believe it because she has over 100 pair. Nori has over 100 pair of blue jeans. Nori, that's ridiculous. It's crazy. 100 pair of blue jeans. You can't possibly wear 100 pair of blue jeans. Sell some of them things, girl. eBay, Amazon. Join the deal sites. You need to start selling some of them jeans. If you sold 50, think about it like this, Nori. If you sold 50 pair of your jeans for, say, $20 each, they're in good condition, $20 each, 50 pair, that's $1,000. Okay? I'm just saying. You got $1,000 sitting in your house and they ain't doing nothing with it. Frankie says he's in Texas to see what you're saying. I'm serious. Blue jeans. Watch. Y'all gonna see me, and because I'm getting ready to prove a point to my children, y'all are gonna see me start selling some blue jeans and some other women's apparel because I'm proving a point to my kids. Sometimes when y'all see me doing certain things that may seem outside of my norm, is because I'm proving a point to my children. I'm giving them like physical lessons so that they can then learn and grow not just by word but by physical lessons. But yes, blue jeans. Now, shoes is another big one. If you can get your hands on shoes, especially if you can, whether you are going to the outlet centers, buying them on sale, buying them aftermarket, or if you get connected with a wholesaler, buying shoes is another one, right? Oh, Nora says, she's down to 40. Okay, all right, that's better. Oh, because you said you had over. I guess I need to learn how to read better, right? I need to learn how to read better. She said had, so she got to have had. But yeah, so you want to. That's good job. But getting involved in these things, like learning how to sell these things, it may not be your thing. But if you can write, you don't even have to be public. You don't have to be physical or do videos. If you can just write or be descriptive. But here's the big thing about that. Intimate apparel is another one. I would like to see intimate apparel come back, though, Nori. I was recently informed, to the detriment of my heart, that lingerie does not sell as much as it used to. That is not a thing. It's not a thing with the younger generation. It's like a cute panties and a bra, and that's it. But lingerie is like not a big thing. I need somebody to bring it back. It needs to be brought back. So, but what that does tell me that if somebody can make it a thing, if you can galvanize people to recognize the wonder of it, then you could be like the new top dog in that. You can bring that back, but you be the leading person to bring intimate wear back. Because I would like to see that come back. So there are opportunities out there. You can see what's used to sell, or look at other countries. Go like what are they wearing in France? What are they wearing in Japan right now? I knew of a young lady when she saw that they was wearing those knee-high socks, those designed up knee-high socks in Japan like 20 years ago. She got started working on that, and she was one of the people who was doing knee-high socks in America in the late 2000, like 2009. So she started producing those. I know another guy, he owns a sock subscription company where he shipped socks of the month all around the globe. Because they saw it in other countries. They saw designers, colorful looking socks in other countries and brought it here. So if you open your mind and your vision, you can see things that you can bring here. Now, you got to do your due diligence on this and write a business plan. Don't just go out there. Too often, people want to run out and just throw money or throw time at something, or and excuse me, but they full of crap too, and they talk about it. So about what they want to do. But let's be real. Nora said she's seen several commercials regarding intimate apparel. It's good, but look at the sales data. Look at the sales data on intimate apparel. It's not like it was 20 years ago. It's down. What do you think about old school cross colors coming back into style? It can come back into style, and it can come hard. It's going to be about how it's marketed. It has to become a thing with the younger generation. Everything comes down to marketing and making it trend. You have to make it trendy, or if you're working on a niche market, you got to make it trendy within the niche. But you take something like cross color, you take something like intimate apparel, right? If I was coming and I was trying to do intimate apparel, a part of me would say I would focus on the 35 and up crowd, the older generations, to bring it back to them. Because guess what? Many people in the older generation are finding themselves single and back out on the dating scene. And if they're back out on the dating scene and they starting to feel themselves, because now it's not, it's more of them doing that, I may direct a path towards them, saying, getting their sexy back, getting, learning how to breathe again and all that kind of thing, and work on those women. And I may even combine the intimate apparel thought process with a fitness, kind of a healthy program, so that they can look better in it. So these is your gold lingerie, and we're gonna combine this with healthy diets and that sort of thing, so that you can look sexy again. Natural products have been trend on natural black hair care. It has, and I'm gonna tell you. Here's the thing about natural hair care. It's not too late, but you are about 7 or 8 years behind. If you're just now getting started, you're about 7 or 8 years behind. You should have got started 7 or 8 years ago. There's still some room, still some time. Nobody's really, there's not 3 major people out there who's just running and taking it over, but you're about 7 years behind. What's up, Josh? And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about not being behind, seeing something before it hits, before people start doing it, before you can go to, every little person and get it. If people had saw the beard game 3-4 years ago and started and to see those people who got beard products now, they saw it 3-4 years ago. They saw the trend 3-4 years ago. They saw the athletes wearing beards and the commentators talking about it. They saw certain trending Hollywood people and singers and actors wearing the beard, and so they started getting involved with beard care, start working on beard care then, 3, 4, 5 years ago, so that their products are out now when people are, men are all into it and they trying to take care of it. So that's what, if you want to be involved in a emerging market, you got to look at what's micro right now. but it has that opportunity to grow. And you probably gonna and find 10 things. Find 10. 10. 10. Here's why you need to find 10. 7 of them you're gonna be wrong. You're gonna be dead wrong on 7 of them. 7 of them is not gonna pan out at all. So find 10 and work all 10. See where the attention of the people is going, and then focus on where the attention goes, right? Like when I first started doing videos and everything, I started doing video on Periscope and VidMe or Vidmar. It was something. I started on like 5 or 6 platforms and YouTube all at the same time. And I was producing content on all of them because I didn't know which one was going to blow up. But then YouTube took over. Instagram, Snapchat. I was on Snapchat, but then I was like, this ain't going nowhere and this is not going to be able to convert, so I'm going to leave Snapchat alone. Hey, Denise. That's my sister. Find something that's starting to trend on YouTube and Instagram. Exactly. You look at what's trending, but you got to get in fast. VIMEO, whatever Josh said. Yeah, that thing. But you got to get in fast. You can't wait. You can't wait until it's already the big toy or the big thing. You know, the beauty of Steve Jobs is that he made you want an iPad. I mean, not an iPad. What was the thing? The little that held your music. He made you want the little MP3 player, and you didn't even know you wanted it. You know, you didn't know you wanted that. You didn't know you wanted 500. Yeah, a little iPod. You didn't know you wanted 500 songs, but he made you want something that you didn't even know you wanted. You know, he made it trend. So if you can figure out, you know, if you can make something trend or find something, find a product. I mean, every day I spend at least about 30 minutes scouring through Alibaba to see what they got. And I was kind of mad because I saw this watch on Alibaba like at the beginning of the summer. And I was like, man, that's a nice watch. I like that watch. It got like some sacred geometry shapes and all that kind of stuff on it. That was a cool watch. And I was like, man, I should go ahead and just spend my $1,000 and buy me an inventory of that watch and then do me some Facebook ads and sell that watch. But I was like, nah, you know, I got some other things that I'm working on. So I didn't do it. 4 months later, I see the dang on watch just scrolling through my little Facebook, just over and over again, same watch. But they did it smarter than I was going to do it. I was going to buy $1,000 worth of inventory. They bought no inventory. What they did was they bought the rights to be able to, they got the rights, they set it up so they can buy them. Then they advertised it. Then they told you the watch was only $14.95. It was free watch, $14.95 for shipping, expect 25 days delivery. Well, because I knew that the delivery from the manufacturer to them was only 10 days, they gave themselves another 15 days to get it to you. So they don't buy the watch until you first purchase the watch. So you buy it from them and then they order it because the minimum shipment was only 10 watches at a time. So you buy it from them, then they order it and get it in and have time to get it to you. You know, so it was like, it's a good deal. The only money they put out was marketing. They put marketing money out, you know. It's a beautiful thing. See, we got to think about business in a different way. We don't always have to think about business the same way that people have done it over and over again. You got to think differently, change the game. I sold some sundresses this summer, right? And Zoom users got embarrassed, for not having an iPod. You're right about that one. But I sold some sundresses this summer, right? Made myself a quick $2,000. Here's the thing about them. I put those sundresses, some of you may have seen it on my, I had a Renz wear page. I put the sundresses up there with the little pictures that I had. And I put them out there. And we're not talking about that tonight, Nori. We're talking about business. But I put the dresses out there and I sold them, but I hadn't ordered any of them. I had to order 6 at a time. So, but the thing about it, I priced them so that when one person bought a dress, that it paid for all 6 plus shipping. So all I needed was one person to buy it, and I ordered them, I got them in, I send that person their one dress. The other ones are now just pure profit, so I didn't have to spend, any more money. I didn't have to order anything. Now I just have to sell these other ones that I had, and I sold those, and then I just kept doing that. And I made a quick $2,000. I was trying to show my daughter, hey. Because I took her to the show, we saw the sundresses. I said, let me show you how to do this, and I ordered them, and that's what I did. and she saw it, but she's still hard headed. You know, she ain't got there yet. What would it take to start? What would it take starting up a Whole Food store? Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. She said, Maroon Beauty 21 said that was smart. To start a Whole Food store, about $500,000. About 500,000 is probably what it's going to do. Look, grocery stores are not easy to start, and then a Whole Foods type store, you're talking about a bunch of natural foods, good, healthy, organic foods, no preservative, that sort of thing. You got to get into your sourcing, and you got to find first. You got to get all your sourcing together. You got to find a building. You got to get an area where you can handle it, where they can handle that. You can probably find an old grocery store that's vacant. What up, Norte? Man, I need to see you, bro. I ain't seen you in 30 years. But you got to setting up a grocery store is not an easy task. And if you go small, then like there was a small grocery store that was set up here in Atlanta, but they didn't have enough inventory. They didn't have enough of where you can go there and just shop. People are lazy, okay? You got to think. Sometimes we get in our mind that I'm going to do this nice, good things for the community, but you got to realize people are lazy as hell. They, don't want to drive nowhere. They don't want to drive too far. When they come to your store, they want to be able to get pretty much everything. They want to get like as much of their stuff as they possibly can. Very few people are going to go from store to store to store to store to store. Those days are gone. My grandma on Saturday used to run us all around the place. All around, to the bread store, to the grocery store, to the meat store, to the fish store, all that. But people are lazy. They don't want to do that. So you got to have a big enough place and inventory to stock it so that people can go. People can go there and get all their stuff. So you're looking at probably about a $500,000 investment, right? And you can crowdsource that, crowdfund that, and maybe I saw one gentleman, he sold shares for starting up a grocery store, and so he had his own internal private IPO for it. So I mean, you can do it, and I'm not shutting you down. I'm just saying that's about what it's going to take. So you can do a crowdsourcing of a private IPO for it, run it for like a year to try to get people to invest and own stock in the grocery store, and figure out what your bottom number is, because depending upon where you're located, that can make a difference as well as to what your startup costs are going to be. Nora says she wants to start a laundry mate service. You saying a laundry mat? Now, coin laundromats are still good. It's a cash-based business. There are always going to be people. There are people who are not going to have washing dryers in their house or apartment. It's usually going to be in your lower income, middle to lower income areas, and they're going to go there. And if it's open 24 hours, easy use, easy access, vending machine for your detergents and powders. And I do you one better, Nori. If you start a laundromat, make your own detergents as well that you sell in the vending, and that way you can start branding your own detergent, get people used to it, and then they will look to buy your detergent as well. Because making detergent is not that difficult. I just recently looked that up like 2 weeks ago of how to make liquid detergent. Because as a man, there's only like 3 brands of detergent out there for men, because I don't like smelling like a girl, basically, like all flowery or like lavender and stuff. So I preferred my clothes didn't smell like that. So I've been researching laundry detergent for men. And there's like 3 companies, 3 products out there for laundry detergent for dudes. So I'm researching it right now. Don't be surprised if you see that coming from me in the next year or so. But a laundromat is still a very good business, and you can find it. You can find it's all about finding a location in a middle to low income area. Do not try to put a laundry mat in a high income area. Those people have washing dryers. Now, if you're doing dry cleaners, that's different, but your competition is going to be stiff. But that's cool. Don't worry about competition. Just be better than the other people. And please, please, please don't try to just be a low price. The lowest price will run you out of business, right? Mune Booty said buy one that's up and ready. It costs a lot to start. Yeah, now, right, I got it. Now you're right, and you can buy a laundromat that's already there, or buy a grocery store that's already there. And matter of fact, when I was talking about the grocery store, you can find the empty ones that you can buy, and then most of the stuff is already there. And Dax is saying, or a pickup and delivery wash. Now, pickup and delivery wash could work in high income areas as well as in the city where people just don't have time and they're busy You can do it like that as well. Those are good places to do those. And cities like Atlanta is growing so fast that people are getting where they want convenience. They're willing to pay that extra money for convenience. So I mean, I would if I was doing a laundromat, I would add pickup and delivery service to my laundromat as well. You know, and you know, here's the thing. This may sound crazy, but let's say you don't have any money, right? Your money is low. Um, who says you can't start a pickup and a laundry service like that out of your house? And then as your business start growing, if you got this in your basement, you set it up where you can have 2 washers and 2 dryers, then 3 washers and 2 dryers. You know what kind of laundry service I would pay for if somebody had it in their house? Washing them got doggone quilts and stuff. Washing them big old, the big quilts, the queen size bed, comforters. Because I don't want to go, most people in their houses don't have the ability to do it in their house. And yeah, service business do require low start. So they don't have it in their house. So they want it clean, but it's like, I don't want to go sit at a laundromat and use the big one. And I don't want to play, or most people, they're taking it to a dry cleaner. And the dry cleaner wanted to charge me $35 to do the quilt. So, I was like, I'm just going to take me a book and go at the place. Any info on starting a catering service? Catering services are good. A lot of competition in catering service. Really, it's about getting out there and making sure. You know what? Here's the thing about a catering service. You got to give away a lot of free food when you first start. A lot of free food. If I was starting a catering service, right? First, I would put together my menu, right? And once I put together my menu, I got to make sure that my stuff is different. It separates me, and put together my service and how everything's going to be served up. Then what I would do is I would start calling all these law firms and different companies that do luncheons and dinners and all them kinds of. I would call all of them and say, hey, I want to come and I want to do a free lunch for you guys. I want to do a free lunch. I would take at least like $5,000 and say that I'm going to spend this $5,000 on the food and what I need to go to these different places, right? And yep, $20 to $30 is good. But I'm going to go to all these different places and I'm going to do free lunches for all these different people. And, it could be tapas, it could be small plate, it could be small sample size. It doesn't have to be full meals to fill them up, but do it so that they can taste your product. And then you become, you're on their mind. Their menu is with you. You got them. And when you go to some of these corporate buildings, the people who work at the front desk, the counter, the security people, you got to make them your friend. You got to make them. The reason why I got into some of these corporations downtown to do popcorn bars is not because I met somebody who worked at the company. I go into the building, I see the security person or who is ever at that counter, I give them free samples and menus because they know everybody in the building. So first I give them samples, right? Then after I give them samples, then I try to set up where I can talk to whomever is making the decision. So when I tell them, the security, I say, look, I need to talk to decision makers. The person in your company who makes the decision as far as employee appreciation, customer appreciation, I need to talk to that person. Whoever's in purchasing, talk to them. Give them free samples and then work my magic based on that. And then they start calling you. So I would give out a lot of that. Nori says she makes her own products. Good. You should be making your own product. Just joined night. Oh, how you doing, Shambhala? Shamba? I'm probably saying it wrong. Elijah, I know that name. But yeah. So if I was starting a catering business, that's the first thing I do. But I would have to make sure, because you think your food is good, and it might be, right? And when you take pictures of your food, I hate when people take pictures of their food on Facebook. Their food look nasty most of the time. They think it look good, but it look nasty. All right, just looking all brown, brown, yellow. Nobody want to see your food. It look nasty. And please, y'all stop taking pictures of y'all food and putting it on Facebook all the time. It don't look good. All right, y'all need to learn about plating. You got to learn about plating. You got to set your food up. Watch some of those cooking shows. They always plating. You see them jokers down there close with the napkin. They're plating the food, making it look good, right? Right. No one wants to see your food. So take really good pictures. Great. Get some good lighting with natural light and additional light. Get good lighting. Take really up close shots of your food, right? Notice what's around in the surrounding areas. You don't want to have crazy stuff. If y'all saw some of the areas where I take pictures of the popcorn and other stuff in my store, you'd be surprised at what actually around it and how I, cut out stuff that's in the background, because like I can't have all that. Now in my early days, I used to have bad lighting. I didn't take care of it like that. But I've started realizing you got to be very up close and take good pictures, right? And so when you do that, it works. And taking those good pictures and putting those good pictures out there make people like you, right? And you got to have color, a lot of color, and good plating, good plates, right? So set up all that and get your license, and then go to places like Restaurant Depot where you can get stuff on a cheap price. Dax said, Dax is saying something that I really need y'all to get this in y'all mind. My goal is to operate a nonprofit business to help the homeless, etc. Help the homeless get back on their feet. Now, love you, Dax. Nothing against you. Everybody always want to do some kind of nonprofit. When my store was on the east side of town, I can't tell you how many people would come to me and they would be like, "Oh, I want to start a nonprofit, a shelter for women, a place for women who ran away from being abused, or I want to open up a place for the homeless and all this. And I'm gonna write these grants. I'm taking this grant writing class and blah, blah." Here's the thing. I had at least about 150 people a year who would come to me and say stuff like that. Guess how many of them people actually ever started what they wanted to start? None of them. Right. And you're saying there's a grant for that. Yes, there is a grant for that. But most people who get grants are people who already have the 501(c)(3) set up and functioning. Right? If it's already set up and functioning, you have a higher probability of getting the grant. But everybody and their mama is writing a grant but have nothing, haven't done a dang thing. So set up a for-profit business first. Set up your for-profit. Make some money. Allow your for-profit, now we're going to talk some tax stuff right here. Allow your for-profit business to fund your non-profit business. That way your for-profit gets tax deductions to your non-profit, and then pay yourself from your non-profit so you also get tax deductions and less tax implication, and let that fund it. Now, once you're funding your nonprofit with your for-profit business, and the people who are reviewing the grant see that it's already a homeless shelter up, there's already a children's center, women's center already up, and you're being funded, and it's running, and they see the programs, and you got results, they are more likely to give you more grant money. You will get more grant money. It drove me crazy for years, but then in 2000, what year was that? 2003, 2004, me and another gentleman was working with a lady, and she was like, "I want to get a grant, I want to open up," and she was just getting on my nerves with that. And then finally I convinced her to open up. She opened up like this little retail boutique, and she made some money, and then she funded and I was like, "Now fund the nonprofit." And after she funded the nonprofit herself, she writes some half-ass grants and get more money than people who write these big thick grants. Why? Because the people who are looking at it said she's already doing it. It's already been funded. So they are more apt to give her money. So I understand. I'm not trying to poo-poo on anybody's desire to help people, but fund it with a for-profit first. Fund it with a for-profit. And the other thing about it, when you fund it with a for-profit, you're not begging as much. You don't have to go beg as much. You don't have to beg people as much, And if you already got it, people are more apt to just give because it's already there. Like, if I used to hire girls who were in those I ran away from the dude who was beating me places. I never can remember what those are called. I used to hire those girls to work for me. And the thing about it, I was more apt to give that organization money and work more with that organization because I knew it was already there than the person who was coming into my store saying that, "Yeah, I got to get my credit right, and I want to buy a house down the street, and I'm going to turn it into, a hospice center," and make money first. Make the profit. Rich people make money first. Hey, Josh, I appreciate that. Josh did a super chat. I appreciate that. You're a great guy. Y'all don't know. I like picking on Josh. Josh is my friend. But yeah, so start that nonprofit. Start that for profit to build your nonprofit. Whether it's a service business. And the thing about it, look at your talents, man. Y'all got some talents. Yeah, exactly. Got it. For profit to the nonprofit, make profit. Got it. And pay yourself from the nonprofit so that your tax is lower as well. That's how the rich people do it. I'm telling you. Don't make Jeb come in here and tell you that the rich people do it like that. Yep, that's how they do it. But that's how some of the wealthy people that I do know, or I used to know when I was a trainer, a lot of them fund, when they were entrepreneurs, they pay themselves from their nonprofit. None of them pay themselves from their for-profit business. So and it's nothing to be afraid of. It's just how taxes work. And if you're scared of it, get yourself an accountant. Don't be afraid to pay for services. That's the other thing that we got to stop doing. Right? Like this New Year's, I'm going to really go hard in pushing my leadership training. Too many small business people, they skip the coaching and leadership training. And they just want to jump out there and run a business. And then the business is not working. And they wonder why. And they think, oh, it's the product. Is it the area? It's the location. It's a bunch of things. But you just jumped out and started doing something without really understanding what you're doing. And because of that, you're messing up. You are messing up big time. Because you didn't do your due diligence and you being too dang on cheap. Why are you being cheap? Pay for it. Pay for somebody to help you with your business plan. Right? Pay for somebody to help you with your leadership. Pay for somebody to help you set up your structure, set up your processes. Pay for somebody to help you with your finances and how things are going to be set up and how things are going to be run. I've been running this particular business for over 5 years, but I'm still going to a program tomorrow. And I got to pay an employee to be here while I'm at a program to learn some more stuff. Right? Stop being afraid to pay people and stop looking for everything to be free. Stop looking for everything to be free. When everything is free, guess what the value of what you're getting is? Free. Bill Gates writes a book. Tells you a whole bunch of stuff. Warren Buffett writes a book. Tell you a whole bunch of stuff. But yet people read their books over and over and over and over again, but they don't become wealthy. Why? Because the real information, they ain't telling you. Excuse me. Because they're not going to give the real information away for free. Right? Hey, just got kicked off of YouTube. Oh, I don't know. But they don't. I used to read, let me tell y'all. I got introduced to like Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar and all those guys back in like the late 90s. No, mid 90s. Used to read and study and listen to all this stuff. But I wasn't like, my life wasn't really changing. It was just changing somewhat. But I'm reading all this stuff, listening to this stuff. But the game didn't change until I spent the money to go to Miami to go to a Les Brown in-depth seminar. Until I spent the money to go to a T. Hart Eckert 3-day intensive seminar. Until I spent the money to go to California to go to a Tony Robbins seminar. Until I went and immersed myself and got the real information. And even when I went to get that, I got more information than you would get out of the books and the CDs. But I still didn't get I didn't get his $1 million worth information. I didn't get their $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 worth information. I was in the military during that time frame. I had that kind of money. I didn't get all that kind of information, but I got some information that made huge differences in my life. And I realized then that I would have to pay for coaching. I would have to pay for mentorship. I still pay for coaching and mentorship, right? I coach other people, but I have other coaches for me. Because as I am a teacher, I am also the student. And I'll always be that. So don't start a business and you don't know nothing about business. You don't know anything about taxation. You don't know anything about building a business plan. You don't know how to get funding. You don't know how to set up processes. You don't understand the rules and regulations for setting up a business. You don't know what the codes are. Get some help. Get help. I see people setting up business in locations. I'm just looking like they done lost their dang on mind. Don't they know that the get in and get out is so horrible right here that they are not going to be successful. There's a donut shop that's getting ready to open up around the corner for me, and getting in and out where they're located is going to be a pain in the butt. And they are on the go to work side of the street, which is where they should be for a donut shop. But that go to work side where they are, the people just got finished going through 2 hard lights, and when they leave that light, they are going to fly by that place. They're not going to want to. They're not going to want to stop. Also, they don't want to stop because that donut shop is too far away from the goddamn highway, and they need to be closer to the highway because people, they'll make a stop like that when they're closer to the highway, not home, and they're too far away from the highway that by the time they've dealt with traffic and they get through this off the highway and then I roll 15 minutes off the highway, they don't want to stop. They want to go home. They want to go home. They don't want to stop. So all those kinds of things have to go through your brain. You have to think about that when you think about your product, when you think about your location, when you think about your service. All those things make a huge difference. And if you're not thinking about those things, you're setting yourself up. Not so much, you may not fail, but it's sure hell gonna be difficult, right? Right, the struggles, the struggles of North Atlanta. Exactly. That's one of my struggles of being up here on the north side. I recognize that where I am, I'm not close to the highway. So who are my main people I'm looking at? I hunt down the stay-at-home moms. I hunt down the entrepreneurs. I hunt down the work-from-home people. I work on those people. Those are the type of people that I work on the most for during the week sales. Weekend sales is everybody. But during the week, I'm looking at the people who are in my area all day, every day, not the ones who are on the highway. Because the ones on the highway, they want to get home. They don't want to stop when they get over here. I've been driving for 2 hours mad in this Atlanta traffic. And you got to think like that. You got to have that mindset of thinking like the customer and stop thinking how you think just because you're in love with your company. Because they don't care about you, right? You got to think like how they think. But we're going to get ready to wind this down in a minute here. Because I got other things. I got some plans I got to take care of. But, I like this. I like talking about business. I love business. Gotta love it. If you're on my Patreon, you submit different questions, subject matters that you may be interested in. Because like I said, my Patreon people, they're doing that $5 a month thing. I definitely want to do videos and podcasts based on your questions. Maroon Beauty says, as I tell my children, work smarter, not harder. Exactly. Work smart. Be smart. Here's the thing. If hard work made you rich, there'll be a bunch of other people who would be rich, right? Because there are people I know who have worked hard for 40, 50 years and they're poor. Poor as dirt, right? So hard work does not necessarily mean success, right? It may keep you in a job, but it doesn't mean success. Oh, I'll link it in the description box. Josh, I don't know how to link it while I'm doing this. I'll link it afterward. Josh was saying link my Patreon in the subscription box. After this, I will link it to my Patreon. But hard work is great, but you have to you got to work smart. You got to do things smart, in a way that works out better and that's easy, that's in the mind of the customer, where the attention is. New way of thinking said how to order your popcorn. I'll put that in the description. But basically, all you got to do, the menu is on my YouTube page for Uncle Renz popcorn. That's Renz, R-E-N-Z, popcorn. And then just look at the menu, decide what you want, and then call the store. I don't like doing online orders. I'd rather talk to you about your order. I'd rather talk to you about what you're going to have, be able to describe the flavors to you. Online is impersonal, and I like personal touches. I will set up where people can just do the blind online, but hush up, Josh. But just call me. Josh don't like calling people, but you're going to call me, Josh. All right, so we, yes, create networks. Wesley said create networks. Exactly, create your networks. I'm sorry, Melissa. You said yes, please do, but I don't know what the yes, please do is for. Soulful Goddess, you are late. You are late. So you're gonna have to go back and watch it again. I think she means. I think I might have been talking about linking stuff at that point, but I'll link it. And I'll link it here on Facebook as well. But this has been great. We're at the 55-minute mark, and I'm about to show Josh how to end a session when you're doing it. The link for Patriots. Oh, Patreon. It's Patreon. Let me do it. I'll put it in here. I can do it on Facebook. So it's Patreon, patreon.com/Coach Renz, Renz. Right? That's my Patreon. I just put it on my Facebook page, linked it on there. I'll link it on to the YouTube thing a little bit later. What do you say? I will hit you up on Patreon. I do have some questions for retirees. All right, that's cool. And like he says that after every video, like in when you say you're going to end. I know. I'm about to end mine. Josh and them don't know how to end their videos. Oh. But I appreciate you guys. We'll have more business discussions. I actually wrote an entire marketing program. So in the next couple of weeks, I'll do one that's strictly on marketing, because marketing keeps changing. All right. Yeah, I know Kevin don't listen to you. He don't listen to anybody. But marketing keeps changing, and I definitely want you guys to be upfront on your marketing, because marketing really is dependent upon who your customer is nowadays. Everybody's not on Facebook. If your customer is 25 years old and younger, then you're going to be still looking at Snapchat. And even though Snapchat is not really set up for business yet, that's just where you have to be and have to live, because that's where they are. The Instagram stories, that's just where they are. You just got to do it. Get over it. And then it depends on what your business is. So marketing is not about you and what you want to do. I had a guy call me today. He wants me to do an ad in this little magazine newspaper that goes out. I'm like, dude, I don't do print marketing. I don't want to see my stuff on the floor. But anyway, 57 minutes. I am done. I enjoyed you guys. It's been great. If you came in late, go back to the beginning. I'm sure there's some gems of information that you'll find in there. I appreciate those who support me on Patreon. And thank you, Josh, for the super chat. So, as always, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. And y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I look forward to next week talk. I know it's going to be about relationships. I was going to do it today, but I just wasn't ready for it. And my mind was on business. So, I look forward to next week, because we are the renaissance of us all. And we are more than just one thing. All right? So, thank you guys. Have a great one. Yes, eat and watch the replay. Love you.